He leads us all the way, playing proper football, the Sheff United way. Ale, 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 ale.
Welcome to the Sheff United way. How are we all doing out there? My name's Nick. And of course, we're talking about Sheffield United beating Luton 2-0 at Bramall Lane. It could have been so much more. It could have been loads more. But unfortunately, we didn't put them away, as we've not really done a lot this season. I felt like this could have been 3 or 4, to be honest. It was the least worried I have been all season. What has happened to Luton? What has happened to them? It was awful from their point of view. We were just brilliant from first minute, because in that first half we created so many chances, some clear-cut ones as well. It wasn't just half chances. There were some really, really good ones in there, and unfortunately we didn't put them all away, but Big Jez put 2 of them away, and it's nice to see Jezza and Raksake not just get one, but obviously get the second one as well. It's going to do so much for his confidence. And he had that left back on toast literally all game. And it was great to see. It really was. I'll be honest with you right now. I've not wrote a lot of notes for this game. I normally write literally 15, 20, 25 notes about things that are happening. I'm just going to go off the dome mostly today because it was that routine. And if Luton fans are going to be watching this now, I apologise because you were really bad. And if Rob Edwards doesn't turn this round quickly, he's going to be sacked. He is. I know it's only been, is that 9 games now, or was it? Oh, is this one 8? No, it is 9 games now. Luton, where are they? They are 4th bottom. They won 2 in a row against Millwall and then Wednesday, and then lost, drawn, lost. And the draw was against Oxford at home. So, yeah, bad times for Luton fans. And actually, they were getting really, really confident, weren't they? Last season, obviously, they finished above us. But they were getting very, very big for their own boots. And this is a little reminder that it's not always that easy to be a good team for a long time. Obviously, they've done well in the last few seasons. But yeah, they've got to start putting a shift in and know that they're not going to be great every single season. Every team has a downturn, if you like. We've seen that a few times. But yeah, the Blades were by far better than Luton. And if it wasn't for that -2, we would be top of the league by 2 points, ladies and gents. We are second, and we are joint top with Sunderland. We are 1 goal. If we'd have scored No, we needed 2 goals because they've scored more goals than us. If we'd have won 4-0 today, we'd have been top of the league outright. But unfortunately, we're only joint top, aren't we? No, it's good to see. We're second in the league. This is the highest we've been all season. And I am absolutely buzzing about that, especially as we started on -2. I said at the start of the season, do you know what? If we start quick, that -2, firstly, won't mean anything because after the first game when we beat, I think it was Preston, first game of the season, wasn't it? I was thinking, it's going to be like a draw. If we've won the first game of the season, it's going to be like a draw, and you start from that. And I actually think that the fact we started on -2 gave us that little bit of a kick up the bum to be like, we need to start well, because Chris Wilder teams historically haven't started too well, especially us when I say haven't started well, when Wilder takes over the reins. We don't, like it happened with us. It's happened with a lot of teams. So, no, it's nice to see us start this season well. And like I say, if it wasn't for that pesky -2, we would be top of the league outright. So, yeah, fantastic to see. It really is. And like I've said already, it was just easy. it was just easy for us. And we were 1-0 up at one point. It must have been kind of like the 20th, 30th minute, something like that. We were 1-0 up, and every player of theirs was in their own half, behind or in front of most of our players. And it was like, they're 1-0 down. Let's try not lose more than 1-0. And it was just like, is this the same team that was in the Premier League last season? Is this the same team that came to Bramall Lane and beat us? Is this the same team that comes to Bramall Lane most seasons and beats us? Because even in the promotion season, they came to Bramall Lane and beat us. Like, Rob Edwards did an absolute number on Heke, and he did a number on Chris Wilder last season, you could say, even though I don't think they really deserved that game. But yeah, not today. Not today. The luscious Rob Edwards. He is. he couldn't do anything today. They've just been really, really bad recently. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about Luton anymore. Let's talk about Chris Wilder sort of changing it all up, because Brewster started today, Sam McCallum started today, and I'm trying to remember the other one that was Arblaster. We weren't expecting Arblaster back, were we? And Harmer on the bench. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, wild. And the fact that we didn't really need Harmer today just shows how easy it was for us. Obviously, Jez started as well instead of Andre Brooks, and 2 goals. What more could you want? Seeing Harmer on that left-hand side, I quite liked it, even though I wanted him to be a little bit more direct, especially in that first half. He'd get the ball on the left, run with it, and then kind of look sideways and look backwards. And I want to see him be more direct, try and take players on. I know he's not got the pace, but he's certainly got the trickery. It just looked like he was so easy to defend against today, because it got to a certain point, and then he would look for McCallum overlapping him, or he would look sideways to Sousa, and it was just like, just try and do something yourself, mate. And he didn't do that much today. And actually, I think O'Hare's not had a fantastic. I think he had a really good first few games, but since then, probably last 3 or 4 games, he's not pulled up too many trees, and he starts every game. So maybe Wilder knew what he was getting with with Harmer, and he wanted to see what else he could get out of O'Hare. But yeah, obviously midweek, Gilchrist got changed for Shackleton, and then at the weekend, McCallum got changed for Burrows, or vice versa, whatever way you want to say it. So Wilder's obviously chopping and changing, and it's working, and we're still winning games of football. And what is that? Is that 6 clean sheets in a row? I think I've just seen on Sheff United's Twitter, 6 clean sheets in a row for the boy Cooper. I said it like that because I was speaking to my nephew today, and I did this in the last match reaction. I think that Michael Cooper looks like a Moore. I don't say he looks like Kiefer Moore. He just looks like a Moore, and I cannot get out of my head. I've said Moore instead of Cooper so much. So I'm trying my best to say Cooper and not Moore. Cooper, again, didn't have a whole lot to do. There was one right at the end of the game. It was kind of slashed towards goal at that front post, and he just took it well. Again, not really worried at all about Cooper in the goal, because Cooper's just been fantastic in the last, every game. Since he's come in, every game, Cooper's been brilliant. Anyway, let's start from minute 5, let's say, because this is the first time where Jezza and Raksaki got round the back, and he kind of just waited and waited and waited, and then the defender got in there, got a tackle, and they managed to hack the ball away. But that was the start of things to come, because Jezza and Raksaki just ran them ragged in both halves, really. And it's a good job we brought him off, because it could have been devastating. He could have got a third or a fourth or a fifth. But no, he started off really well on that right-hand side, and he just got better and better as the game went on. I'm struggling to remember all these things that happened, like I said earlier on, because I didn't write too many notes. But the ball kind of just popped up in the middle of the box for him, and he just took it past a couple of players and slammed it past the goalkeeper. And the thing is, with I know that their goalkeeper's been very good this season, but I feel like these sorts of players, Andre Brooks, Jezerin Rexake, maybe not necessarily more because he's not had too many chances. Who else is there? Who else? We've missed a lot of chances this season. It's usually those two, to be honest, because they get free the most. Andre Brooks and Rexake, because they're so good and so skillful and great down that side. But we've missed a lot of chances this season, a lot, and most have come from those two. So it's nice to see him not really think about it. I think it just popped up and he's like, smash, back of the net. He didn't have too much time to think about it and pick a spot, because when they pick a spot, it's almost like they telegraph it a little bit too much. That's both of them. That's Raksake and that's Brooks. They both do the same thing, in my opinion. But yeah, it just popped up, smash, back of the net. Thank you very much. Birthday boy goal. You love to see it. Then on the a little bit later on, probably 10 minutes later, Callum O'Hare is running at the defenders. He's got two ways he could go. He can either go to his right, but he slips in more on the left-hand side. He waits and waits and waits, and then manages to get a shot away on his left foot in the bottom corner. Really, really good save from the goalkeeper. I keep saying the goalkeeper. I'm assuming it was Kaminski in the goal, but I can't say for certain. I'm going to have a little look now, aren't I? Just to make sure, because I don't want to be a silly sausage and get it completely wrong. Where is it? Yeah, it is Kaminski in the goal. It was. So yeah, that's 1-0. We're looking like we're going to try and score more and more and more. And there were some really, really good chances. Souza lined up a pile driver from outside the box. It was funny because the crowd was shouting shoot. And normally when the crowd shouts shoot, the player just plays it sideways. But Souza's not just any player. He smashed that ball. It was sort of straight at the goalkeeper, but he pushes it away, and yeah, obviously that much power on it, the keeper's not catching that. So yeah, it was the only person who catched it was Vinny Souza. Great strike, fantastic strike. But yeah, it was not a difficult one for the keeper to save. It was sort of down his throat, maybe just to one side, and he makes a good save. In the 40th minute, Jezerin Rexake gets free in the box yet again. It's sort of around the penalty area, fires it towards the corner with his instep, just not enough on it. Keeper makes a good save, and we go into half time. And I'll be honest, I thought that Arblaster and Vinny Souza absolutely ran the show in that midfield. Ran the show. There was one moment, the only time in that first half that I thought we were a little bit struggers was when Anel tried to be a little bit too clever, and the ball got nicked off him. I'm just trying to see who it was. I'm sure it was Adebayo. Sure, Adebayo just nicked the ball off him, and he just hacks him down. And it's one of those where it's not a red, because I think it was Suter at the other side would have come around and stopped him. But that is almost like a goal scoring opportunity, because if an L doesn't foul him there, he's kind of away, and he's either going one-on-one with the goalkeeper, or Suter could come across and maybe stop him. But it's like an orange card, isn't it? That he stopped him from possibly scoring a goal, but it's not a red card offence, if you know what I mean, because like I say, Suter could get across there, but it was certainly dodgy. And at the end of the day, Anel was probably a little bit embarrassed about it, because he punched the turf after he did it, and he punched it knowing that I've messed up there. I'm going to get booked here. Maybe he punched the turf because he thought he was getting sent off, and maybe he didn't know where Suter was. But yeah, he punches the turf, realizes that he's done wrong. But at the end of the day, actually, that decision making in that moment was exactly what he needed to do: bring him down. I think we were 1-0 up at that point. So even if he'd have got sent off at that moment, we're still 1-0 up. It's better than going. I'd rather be 1-0 up and be down to 10 men than it being 1-1. Well, I don't know, really. You don't really know. You can't really say in that moment, can you? But I think he did the right thing. He obviously got booked for it instead of getting sent off. But yeah, like I say, it was the right thing to do at the right time. And luckily, he only got a booking. But Yeah, I thought we bossed it in the first half. Let's have a little look at the stats. 64, that's the match. 74% ball possession in the first half. And bearing in mind, we went 1-0 up after 12 minutes. 12 minutes. I understand us having a lot of the ball when it's 0-0. But when we're 1-0 up, we normally kind of retreat and let them come on to us. And we didn't today. And I don't know whether that's to do with us, like wanting to go out there and go and win this game, or whether Luton just weren't good enough or just didn't have the belief that they could sort of take us on with ball possession and actually scoring a goal. That's weird. I've just looked. Oh, that's the first half. That's why. Never mind. Ignore me. So 74% to 22% possession in the first half. That is barbaric. In the second half, it was 54 to 46, which is more understandable. But at the same time, they're on the losing side. They need to try and get back into the game. They should have more of the ball than us, but they don't. And yeah, great to see. Overall, 64% ball possession for us. And it showed, especially like I said, in that first half where we just ran the show. And they didn't really have the ball too much. It's a far cry from midweek where Swansea took it to us. We couldn't get the ball off them in the first 15, 20 minutes. They were just the better side. And yeah, today I expected Luton to come here and really cause us problems. I think they're probably the first side to cause an Ellen Suter problems in the air. Not a lot of problems, but maybe once or twice they might not have won a header, or they might have struggled to win a header. But yeah, they certainly didn't look like they were going to score at all today. I think it was in the second half, right, maybe the last 5 minutes of the game, where they had a bit of a shot and it went front post and Cooper saved it. That was it. That was it. They had 2 shots on goal, apparently, in the whole game, both in the second half. Don't remember the first one at all. It can't have really caused as many problems, can it? Because I don't remember it in the slightest. Anyway, in the, what minute was it? In the 52nd minute, I knew it was quite close to, because I went downstairs for a pint in the concourse. By the time I got up, it was 47, 48th minute, something like that. And I knew we'd scored practically straight after. So yeah, Raksake gets played in by Brewster. He looks like he's going on his left foot, and then he brings it onto his right foot. That's what you want to see. You want players to have the confidence on their not wrong foot, on their least strongest foot, shall we say, the slightly weaker foot. And he fires it at the goalkeeper through his legs. I think it hits his leg and kind of diverts it towards the post, but it's always going in. And that's what you want to see. Again, the first one that he hit, didn't really have time to think about it, just smacked it. The second one, it's not opportunistic, but I think he's kind of trying to take it early so the defender doesn't get across and get a block in like he did earlier on in the game in the first half. But yeah, again, it got him in a really, really bad position, the defender, and he just turns him on his right foot. The defender's not expecting him to go onto his weaker foot, goes onto his right foot, fires it through the goalkeeper, really. And that's after 52 minutes, the Blades 2-0 up. And it was easy. It was easy, like I said. Then we brought on just everyone. I think Luton was starting to come back into the game a little bit. But when we brought Harmer on, Andre Brooks on, that double substitution for Bruce and Raksake, I thought Bruce had a pretty decent game today. I'm starting to enjoy seeing Brewster on the pitch, and that's nice to see. That's really nice to see, because I'm a big Brewster fan of him. Not necessarily how he plays football, but I hope he has a really, really good season. I hope he stays fit, because that's like an extra player, isn't it? Because none of us really thought much about Brewster going into this season. So if he can, score a few goals, create a few problems, he's created a goal today. Clearly, he's set Raksake up. That's what we want to see from Brewster. But Harmer comes on. I think we could have got 2, 3, 4 goals in that second half. The final pass wasn't quite good enough, and Harmer was at the heart of most of that. Andre Brooks as well down the right-hand side came on, played pretty well as well. But I think those two substitutions just kind of swung the pendulum back in our favour. And then we obviously go and bring on three more players: Norrington Davis, Shackleton, and Campbell for Moore, Gilchrist, and McCallum. It's great to see. It really is that we can change this many players and it not really affect the game too much. And I know we're 2-0 up at this point, but no, I like that. I like that we can make these changes. And actually, watching the players run up and down the sidelines, I'm thinking, is our squad stronger than what I thought? I think it is. I think it's a lot stronger. I don't know whether that's just because the players that are coming in know that they need to be at a really high level because the players on the pitch are playing really well. But I enjoyed watching McCallum today. I thought he had a really good game. Obviously, we didn't need to bring Burrows on. I thought lots of players had good games. Obviously, Gilchrist is going to be fighting for his position because he's got two players vying for that spot in Shackleton and Sarike. So that's good to see. I think the two midfielders and the two central defenders are probably our strongest units in the whole team. So we've got Arblaster, fantastic today. I wouldn't have brought him straight back into the side, but he was fantastic. Like, it's just a joy to watch on the ball. It really is. And Souza, do you know what? Souza was really good on the ball today as well. Got stuck in. Obviously had a couple of shots. He had one that hit the post and went wide in the second half. Very, very good game from Souza. If it wasn't for Aksaki scoring 2 goals, I would be putting Souza up there with man of the match. Like I say, I'm surprised Wilder left Arblaster on all game to say that he hasn't played for a while. Maybe he just wants minutes back in the legs and he trusts that his injury, isn't going to reoccur. But like I said, Brewster, really enjoyed him today. More, I actually think I'm one of these people that don't want to kind of jump on the bandwagon and try not use Kiefer Moore as a scapegoat. I think he holds it up well, but he sometimes tries to turn too much and, I'm going to pass it to him. No, I'm not going to pass it to him. And it's like, you just have to do the simple things at times. And I think that's what Kiefer Moore's struggling with at the moment. I think he's trying too much because people are getting on his back. So I hope he doesn't. Just do you, Kiefer. You do you. But no, I think they all had a decent game today. Actually, if we'd have played out of our skins, this would have been 4-5-6-0. It really would. Like, all the chances that we created, we could have took a few more. Even the ones that we didn't create, that the final ball wasn't quite good enough. It just felt like we were just so much better than them. We had 6 shots on target to their 2, and we had 15 goal attempts to their 8. Now that's practically 15 and 8 is practically double. 7 and 2, that's a mile away. But also, like I say, I wonder if they haven't got dangerous attacks or anything. I think our dangerous attacks would be kind of above and beyond anything they could have mustered today. Like, we were just great. Like I say, if that final ball was a little bit better, we'd have been loving life. And yeah, it is great to see. I want to know, before I go into the comments, Brewster, would you give him a 1-year contract if Brewster stays fit all season and has a half decent season? Or even if he has a bad season, would you give him another year? Because I feel like, I don't know how his contract works, but I would offer him a new contract on like a half of a quarter of what he originally got, because he must be on the most money at the club. He must be, because we brought him in for 24 million. I think he had to be the highest paid player. He's got to still be the highest paid player. So I think he needs to come down on his wages. But I would certainly give him another year, in my opinion, especially if he can stay fit. If he can't stay fit, I think it's bye-bye Rian, unfortunately. But at the moment, it looks like he's doing well, and I'm happy to see it. I really am. So anyway, let's go into the comments. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this evening. Make sure you hit that like button to tell me that you're enjoying the stream. Beast Boy, afternoon, Nick. Brewster was very good today with Moore. Jez was unbelievable. Very good win all round. Agreed, mate. Completely agree. Great performance. Totally dominated Luton. Great show by the whole team. Thank you, Stephen. good to see Brewster showing how effective he can be. Result never looked in doubt, on to Leeds. Before we move on, thank you, Ian, for that. Really appreciate that. Before we move on, I want to give a big, big old shout out to... That's him. Oh, no. Oh, no, my phone's dying. Oh, no. My phone... Oh, I'm going to have to bring this up on Facebook. My phone's just out. I wanted to give a shout out to somebody. Let's go through some of the comments, and I'll run it back in a second. But I wanted to give a big shout out to somebody that stopped me in the street on Shoreham Street. I was a little bit preoccupied with trying to get to the game for 3 o'clock, and I'm always there kind of 2:15, 2:30, very latest, and it was like 22, quarter to, something like that. And I was really worried about missing the kickoff. So I want to give him a big shout out because I didn't really kind of chat to this gentleman as much as what I wanted to. Mike Monks, there's your shout out, mate. Really enjoyed meeting you. I apologize if I wasn't as I don't know what the word is. Not nice, because I was nice. I wasn't as chatty, shall we say. But yeah, Mike Monks, really, really enjoyed meeting you today. And yeah, you're a good man. You and your wife, good people. Really, really good people. Wayne Meakin, a pleasure to watch. I'm sure you're talking about me and not the Blades. No, I'm joking. Obviously, it was a pleasure to watch. And it was nice to see a game where I'm not worried about the other team scoring a goal and making a fist of it. Brilliant performance. Brewster through balls, outstanding. It was a great through ball. I forgot all about that. It really was. Most convincing win I've seen in ages. Only problem is our lack of finishing. Make it 3 or 4. Raksaki, Brewster and McCallum were standouts for me. What a start. What a start, Hal. Absolutely agree, mate. Bossed it. 9 games in, top of the league, practically. I can't wait for Leeds away game. It'll be a wonderful night. I wouldn't be scared of them lot. Totally agree. Anyway, got to go. I'm in the Porterbrook on Ecky Road. Thank you, Walter Hope. Thank you very much. Have a drink on me, mate. Brian Toulson, well done, Blades. Very good performance. Up them Blades. I don't know what any of that means. So moving on. Our Blaster, jump scare after us expecting him to be out for a few more weeks. Totally. It looked really good as well. It looked like he'd never been away. Felt sorry for Peck a little bit, though, not getting on the pitch at all, because I think he's had a good couple of games. Is Brewster being converted into a midfielder instead of a striker? Who knows? I think it was kind of that attacking midfield second striker role today. Maybe the Illiman role, if you like. I think today we've hit the frame of the goal a few times, so it's an encouraging sign. There's more to come from this squad. I also like the fact that when Gus came on, he played in the middle and he didn't play on the left. So I'd like to see that more. I'd like to see Gus playing straight through the middle. Can Crystal Palace recall Raksaki in January, given that they are struggling in the Premier League currently? I will look into that, Michael. I will look into it and have that information for you on hand. I think anybody can recall anybody, in all honesty. I think sometimes what they do is they recall them, but then they would pay us a bit of money to say, yeah, we're recalling him early. We didn't think we'd need him. But I don't think they'll do that anyway. I think it's better for Palace. I can't see Palace going down. I think it's better for his career for him to be playing in the Championship this season, because he's gone from League One to really bad injury to Championship. So I can't imagine they'd go League One, scoring loads of goals, really bad injury, Premier League. So yeah, I think they'll want to leave him in the Premier League, in the Championship for the full season, score a lot of goals, play really well. That would be nice. 2 good individual goals. Just nice to see a few team goals. A bit of build-up play with a few good passes to strike a finish on. Yeah, hopefully. But it is also nice to see players, pick the ball up, be really direct, run at defenders and score goals. I like to see that, because we haven't had that for quite a while, because we have always been, under Wilder, we've always been a very good technical passing side that we work on these things in training, these triangles, with Ender Stevens, Fleck, Jack O'Connell, those sorts of triangles that I'm talking about. It's with Duffy in there and stuff. It was always like really technical passes, but I also like to see an out and out winger just go at a defender, because we have that against us so much. It's nice to see us have that sort of talent in our side. Harry Suter and Alfie Gilchrist, I would break the bank to get permanently if we go up. Definitely Suter. I like Gilchrist, but I wouldn't be breaking the bank just yet. I'd like to see a couple more months of him before we say stuff like that. I think the only way we get him is if Chelsea don't want him. That's the main thing. Just a detail, but McCallum is seriously good in the air for someone of his size. When we get our radar sorted, we should net loads. Do you know what? Bruce are the same. Bruce has got such a great leap on him. They both have. And I think they both went for the same ball at one point, and they were both miles above the opponent. Thought Brewster through ball for Aksaki's second goal was excellent. Totally agree. I'd definitely give Brewster a 1-year contract. Yes, Brewster's now looking a good player. 6 clean sheets in a row for Cooper, unbeaten. Blades without -2. We would be top. I just love seeing United win. That's wild, that, because Hal is very, very good at English and writes text out very well. That's a shocker from Hal here. There's so many lack of spaces. What's going on, Hal? What's going on? At the end of last season, I wanted Sousa gone, but now has turned me now keep him. Brewster needs to go, but fantastic game today. Oh, right, okay. Nick, why don't you and Jimmy from the Blade Ramble do a joint match reaction at some point? I know Jimmy is doing his podcast after you finish tonight to give his match reaction. Different channels, isn't it? End of the day, like we both have our own channels, and I don't think either of us would really want to. The match reaction is the bread and butter. That's where you get your views in. So I can't imagine either of us really want to give up, those sorts of views. And we're not exactly against each other, but like we want to do our own video. So yeah, that's probably why it might happen in the future at some point. But yeah, I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. We're top of the we are top of the league. So we are top of the league. Second on a technicality, we're top of the league. Absolutely, Drew. Eamon, I have never rated Brewster since he came to the club and never will, Nick. He is always injured. Get rid. Don't give him another contract. Wowzers. McCallum was solid today. Good to see some competition for left back after it being a real worry pre-season. Loved it today. Proper convincing performance. Absolutely. Let's fire through a few more. Brewster, to me, has always been more of a winger / central attacking midfielder. Let's see more of it then. Let's see more of it. Leeds have lost 2 of their starting midfielders within a week. Ampadu out till the new year, and Gruev, there you go. Southampton are being linked to Harmer in the January window. Who cares? Don't think he'll go there. He won't do the same thing again. He won't want to get relegated, will he? So I don't see any point. Super Cooper, Super Michael Cooper, he's number 1, saving shots for fun. Cooper is the number 1. I like it, Rob. Great game, great channel. Where you get the black shirt, please? From the club shop. I didn't get it from DHK, honestly. I wish I did for how much money it cost. I copied and pasted that last comment from my Twitter and had no idea it had those faces. Don't do a match reaction with Jimmy, Nick the OG. Fair enough, mate. Thank you, Hal. I appreciate that, mate. Actually, OG, no one did match reactions before me. It feels like Sousa actually putting in 100% now. You'll love to see it, Brady. Just putting it out there. Sousa looks better than Berger. Wow. I'm not sure you can say that. 2 completely different players, but I am liking Sousa right now. Sousa and Arblas are just fantastic together. It's great to see. Anyway, we're all done. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like the video before you leave. Yeah, absolutely buzzing. Top of the league on a technicality. But if it wasn't for that -2, we would actually be top of the league. So thank you very much for watching. Like I said, make sure you put in the comments if you would give Brewster a 1-year contract. I certainly would. And I'll see you very soon. Up the blades.
Ollie, ollie, ollie.